Asking Radio is here. Tell everyone you know. The wait is over. 98.5 Speed FM.
Catch us if you can.
Showing you wrong from right. I'll let you guide me. Just stay beside me. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so I am lucky. I am lucky. You are my favorite song. I am lucky. 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 Seasons change, but you're the same. Is constant, you've never lost it. Your voice is calling out my name. It makes me miss you, even when I'm with you. Oh, nobody wants to go it alone, and I just wanna stay here with you. You are a rainbow, so
a speedy welcome to the show for everyone. This is Saturday's for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I am your host on the show. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. And Saturday's for Weddings, where every Saturday we unpack love, marriage, culture, the sweet, the spicy, and the things people argue about home, weddings, but won't say out loud. Now, today's focus is one that touches nerves. It's about marriage, boundaries, and friendships. You get married, rings on, pictures posted, but suddenly someone says, now that you're married, you shouldn't be moving in with your single friends again. Some believe that single friends can influence bad habits. Others say friendship doesn't end because of marriage. So our question for you today, of thoughts today, is should couples cut ties with their single friends after marriage? Do you think that couples should stop being friends, with their single friends after marriage? Now, you also can call in to be part of this conversation because it's just you and I. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Should couples cut ties with their single friends after marriage? You, as a married person or about to marry, do you believe that your partner should cut ties, with his or her single friends after the wedding, after the marriage, and all of that? Do you believe that they should no longer be friends? And then, in general, whether you're married, you're not married, how do you see it? Which one sounds right to you? Is it okay, is this something that should happen? Like, let couples cut ties with their single friends after marriage. Some people say yes, they should, because, well, single friends are going to influence you. They are going to somehow turn out into jealousy, and then, give you advice that will make your marriage break and all of that. So you should cut ties with single friends and then start making friends with married people. And other people believe that it doesn't matter. It depends on the kinds of friends that you have, whether it's a single friend or a married friend. As long as that person is a good friend, that person will not influence your marriage badly. So what do you think? Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage, after they have gotten married, after the wedding? Do you think they should stop being friends with those ones that are not married? Now, let's be honest, marriage changes priorities, and late night outings, spontaneous trips, and gist till 2 a.m. may not fit the same way anymore. And some people argue that single friends may not understand marital boundaries. They say advice from someone who is not married can create problems. But what if that person is a good advisor, especially when there's disagreement at home? Others believe cutting off friends is unhealthy. They say marriage should add to your life and not shrink it. That a mature married person should know how to set boundaries without burning bridges, set boundaries without actually letting go of those friendships. And then there's another angle. What if your single friends were there before the marriage? You personally, if you had friends before your marriage, will you cut ties with them and stop being friends with them, after you marry? And some of those friends, supported you, prayed with you, helped you grow, and all of that. So is the issue really single friends, or is it lack of boundaries? Now, if you have just joined us, this is Saturdays are for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about marriage boundaries and friendships. Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage? Should they stop being friends with single friends after the marriage? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Calling and let us know your opinion on our topic of discussion this morning. If you think, couples should actually cut ties, with their single friends immediately they get married. Are you among those people who believe that the single friends can influence them badly? Because we hear a lot of things like that. How come you're married and you're still friends with this person? Do you believe that it's all single friends, or does it just depend on maybe the kind of friends that you have? And if your friend is a bad friend, then whether that friend is single or even married, the person will remain that bad friend? Or are you among those people who believe that there is just something connected? Because someone once said there is just something about people that are single, they will not really understand. You have to make friends. Hello. Okay, we lost that, but do not give up. You can still call back. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Should couples cut ties, stop being friends with their single friends after the marriage? Do you believe that maybe those single friends will influence them and lead to scattering things in the marriage? Because whether you like it or not, things like that happen when friends will be the one that will be advising or other friends, and do this and do that, and before you know it, marriage will scatter. But it's not in all cases. So do you think that depends on, it's because they are single and they have no experience, that is why it happens, or they are just bad friends? Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage? Hello. Yes, good morning.
Good afternoon. Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Benjamin, I'm calling from Coca-Cola.
Okay, welcome to the show, Benjamin. So what do you think?
I think that when you are married, cutting off ties with your friends is not good.
Okay.
It depends on the friends you make, that they are good for you or bad for you.
Okay.
So it will determine for you whether to cut or to still be.
Okay. Thank you so much, Benjamin, for calling in to be part of the show. Well, we heard Benjamin, and he says, well, he thinks that cutting ties with your friends, like letting go of friendships, simply because you're married, is not okay. It just depends on the kind of friends that you have. So if you know that, okay, these are bad friends, or these are friends that would influence your marriage badly, then you can cut ties with them. But simply saying, because I'm married now, then I can no longer be friends with single, people that are not married, is not okay. So what do you think? Some people believe that if friends are single, they can never understand how a marriage works, so they will not be able to give you, those advice, and they'll just be they don't understand how boundaries work. They maybe still feel like they can just walk in and out of your house and do other things. The way single life is, single life is different from married life. And some people believe that if you have good friends, there's no need to cut them off, because, well, you can just explain to them that this is how it is. And looking at society, looking at everywhere, you notice that the married people stay friends with married people. I don't know if somehow there's a point in your life where that will just develop, in your marriage, and you just understand, or is it the couple that actually advise themselves, like, no longer be friends with single people, or all of that. Now, if you have just joined us, this is Saturday's for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about marriage boundaries and friendships. Should couples cut ties? Should they stop being friends with their single friends after marriage? Do you think couples should stop being friends with their single friends after marriage? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Call in and let us know your opinion. Like, do you think that single friends influence marriage negatively, or is it just an excuse, or is that something that maybe sometimes society just takes and dwell on? Hello. Okay, we lost that, but you can reposition and then call us back. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Should couples cut ties with their single friends after marriage? Okay, what is it with you guys, network? But do not give up. You can still call in and maybe you catch up. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Shadrach. I'm calling from Goma.
Oh, welcome to the show, Shadrach. So what do you think?
I didn't hear it here. Please, can come back and repeat it so that I'll get it.
Okay. Do you think that when couples marry, they should actually cut ties, with their single friends? And, well, Shadrach, we are still talking. So when you get that, you can actually call in and then let's hear your opinion. Should couples cut ties with their single friends? Should they stop being friends with people that are unmarried immediately after they get married? Do you believe that that is how it should be? Because looking at it, it's more like that's what is happening most of the time. Hello.
Hello, Alpha.
Hello.
Yeah, Alpha.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Okay, we cannot hear you. You can reposition and then call us back again. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Should couples cut ties and stop being friends with their single friends after the marriage? Do you believe that maybe single friends will influence their friends badly because they don't have experience? Because that's some of the things that you would hear. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Mohammed Bala. I was calling you in Northbound.
Okay, welcome to the show, Mohammed. So what do you think?
I think that if you marry a good woman, you are going to quit with bad friends who advise you wrongly.
Okay.
I think it's true. I am true.
So you believe that if someone is married, the person should not have other friends that are not married?
No, you're supposed to have a good friend now.
But not the ones that are married.
No, even if the ones that are married, or if the one, even if your friend is not married.
As long as it's a good friend.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for calling in, Mohammed, to be part of the show. Mohammed is saying as long as that friend is a good friend, then whether they are single or married and all of that, it doesn't matter. Now, if you have just joined us, this is Saturdays are for weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And this morning on the show, we are talking about marriage boundaries and friendships. Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage? Should couples stop being friends with their single friends, after the marriage? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That's 0808 427 5464. Should couples cut ties with their single friends and stop being friends with them, after they get married? Do you think that single friends actually influence marriages? Hello? Okay. Maybe we position and then call us back again. Do you think that single friends actually influence marriage, in a bad way that could make them even lead to breakup? Because we have heard stories like that where friends will come in and then shatter a marriage. But you cannot just judge everyone just from or some people's story, or even if that is what mostly happens, you cannot judge everyone by that. Hello?
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
You are speaking to Comrade Sam from North Bank, Winadi Road.
All right, welcome to the show, Comrade Sam.
Thank you. They talked about cutting ties with unmarried friends. It all depends on the type of friendship you have built.
Okay.
And even the married ones, how good are they that you just met after marriage? Probably you have friends. Like myself, I have friends that we study together, grow together, and there are not many. And then maybe one of them will say, guy, it's time to settle down. And then it's okay, we supported him. The next is you, the friendship continues. Where we have issues is the friendship you have, let's say with opposite sex. And it's not just ordinary friends, it's an intimate friendship. So by the time you get married as a man, there is every need to break such intimacy tie. And everything goes with time. The closeness we have to reduce, the frequent calls we have to reduce. It's natural. You just find yourself just being withdrawn. But where problem lies mostly is on the female part. I'm sorry to say the females. There are ladies who still keep friendship, especially their ex, still in contact. Probably because of one benefit, they're benefiting from the relationship or the other, and they try to hide it away. And that has been the basics of why people say cut off ties with unmarried people.
Okay.
And it may surprise you to know that people with bad attitude can never change. Even in marriage, they can still keep all those nonsense relationships that may later affect their marriage.
Okay.
So, like myself, I don't have plenty friends. They're just very few. And all of them are married, and we still keep tight. But the female folks, believing me sincerely, communication just dies off immediately. And in this life, by the time you enter into another phase of life, other challenges began to set in. New friends began to come.
Okay.
And those that come may not be those who are unmarried, must be those who are already married, because you're already a man.
Okay. So it just happens naturally.
Yes. So I don't see the issue. Say, hey, cut off tie with your marriage. Some of them have contributed a lot into your life. It's not easy cutting tie. Them themselves knew that you are now married. They will be able to know their boundaries. It's a natural thing. But when you say cut off immediately, it may not work.
Okay.
You rather create more trouble than what you are thinking you want to solve. So with time, with passage of time, everything will normalize himself.
Okay.
So this is my take on the issue.
All right. Thank you so much, Comrade Samuel, for calling in to be part of the show. Now, we heard from Comrade Samuel, and he is saying it is not right to just cut off your friends like that, just say you're cutting ties with them simply because you got married, because those could be good friends, those could be good friends. So you have to actually check, is this one a bad friend or a good friend? And then there's also something that he said, that sometimes it just happens naturally that those kind of friends, they're the ones that are not married, the single ones will just drift away from you, because boundaries will now come in. But there are some friends that don't know that boundary too. There are cases like that where some friends don't know that boundaries, or let's say even the couple that got married will find it difficult to actually let go of their former friends. That's how we hear some husbands complaining, like, you and your other friends, that your friends, that she's not married, she's trying to make you so that you also become unmarried. And then you hear some wives be like, you are always moving about with those your friends that are not married, and they'll be influence you to also chase after girls like you are also not married. Anyway, let's hear your own opinion. If you have just joined us, this is Saturdays are for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about marriage boundaries and friendships. Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage? Do you think couples should stop being friends with their single friends after they get married? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Should couples cut ties and stop being friends with their single friends after the marriage? Do you think that is that single friends actually do influence marriages, and maybe advise people that are married, and they may not understand you and may advise you to do something wrong, and then married people just remain friends with married people, and then single people be friends with themselves? Now, some people argue that single friends may not understand marital boundaries. They don't know that they are not supposed to walk into your house like that anymore, because maybe it was just dating and they were like, yes, I know him now, he's my guy, and the husband is also my guy, and the wife is also my friend. So they may not understand some kind of boundaries. And other people say, once you talk to your friends, but there are sometimes that you actually tell your friends that this is it, or this is how it's going to be, and they may not understand you, or they may see it like, okay, you're trying to say because you're married now, you are no longer up to your level or anything like that. But whichever way you see it, or whichever perspective you are coming from, let us know. Should couples stop being friends with their single friends after the marriage? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Should couples stop being friends with their single friends after the marriage? How do you say it? Do you think that is something that should actually be happening, maybe because of one reason or the other, like, you should no longer move about with people like that, or their lifestyle will definitely be different? Do you think that can affect the couple who are married? Hello.
Good morning, ma.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Okay, this is Barnabas Onwoga calling from North Bank.
Welcome to the show, Barnabas. What do you think?
Let me just say, to my own side, some people, they won't allow that should be happen anymore, because if they just marry and then they will just say, hey, let the friendship just stop. But I didn't see any bad thing there. Okay. I didn't see any problem there. If you are married and you can't be Abba now, how can you say, okay, now I'm a friend, I have a friend, and I'm married, now I can pursue my friend. No, don't come to my house, or don't do this too. How about that? Is not possible. That is not a friend. Okay. Yes, for my own side. Okay. If I'm married so far. Huh?
So that is on your own side. So are you married right now, Barnabas?
No, ma.
Okay, so if you get married now, would it be okay for you, for your wife, to have her single friends, like remain friends with them?
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
If that is your own business. For me, I didn't take anything like people just say inside their mind. Yes. So if you just think you can do it, that is it. Yes, that is for my own opinion.
All right. Thank you so much, Barnabas, for calling in to be part of the show. Barnabas thinks, no, he actually does have no issue with it. He doesn't have any issue with it. He's saying from his own side, he feels like there is no need actually cutting ties, with single friends when you get married. But how come we see it happening? What actually happens that if you look around, the married people are friends with married people, and it's not like they don't used to have single friends back then. They used to, but all of a sudden they are no longer friends with those single people again, and it's just like the single people are friends with themselves. You will tell someone, like, you hear some people say like, well, since that person married, that's how it has been. We are no longer that close. So is it that there's something maybe in the marriage that you get to discover, and then the couple just understand each other and they just communicate with each other, like, well, stop being friends with that person because he or she is single? And we even hear it publicly sometimes. Like, we hear it when some people would say, well, my wife, since I got married to my wife, she has maintained a certain friendship, and that person is not married. The person keeps feeding her these ideas, and you even hear accusations like that my wife's friend is always advising her, to do bad stuff so that she can become single as well. And then you hear from the cases of, let's say, wives. Now, my husband is always going out with friends that are not married, and they'll influence him to, start doing things that unmarried people do as well. So what do you think? This is Saturday's for Weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about marriage boundaries and friendship. Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage? Should they stop being friends with their single friends after the marriage? Do you feel like single friends actually influence couples in a marriage badly? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, man.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Jeremiah.
Okay.
I'm calling from behind the Federal Secretariat.
Oh, welcome to the show, Jeremiah. So what do you think?
First, I want to ask, is marriage a prison here that because you are married, you're not supposed to be friendship?
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with somebody marrying and still keeping your own friends.
You're saying whether they're single or married. But how come we see it happening that those married people are staying friends with married people?
Whether single or married, friends, good friends are like, they are good. Right? Okay, assuming that, okay, you get married now, then you cut off from your friends. Let's say, God forbid, your partner now dies. So who are the people that will stand by you? If not even that, when you have a challenge or when you have something that maybe you're celebrating something, who are the people that will stand beside you? Personally, I don't feel that anyone can influence somebody to be bad.
Okay.
It's just a mindset thing. So if you have a problem in your family, you just fix it instead of blaming people. I think this is very common with the ladies. Okay. I don't know why it's like that. Once they get married, the single ones now they start looking at their friends like it's not supposed to be so.
Okay.
It's not supposed to be so at all.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jeremiah, for calling in to be part of the show. Jeremiah thinks that, well, if you have a good friendship, why cut it off because that person is not yet married, and you just got married and that person is not yet married? Why cut it off? If something happens, who is supposed to stand by you? And he also thinks that this is something very common with the ladies, after getting married and they cut off and become friends with married people. Hello. Hello. Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Ilumo Faith.
Okay, Faith, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from behind St. Dominic Sachi.
Okay, so what do you think about our topic of discussion?
It's not necessarily that, because I'm a married woman and it's mostly my single friends that give me advices and they are very good advices.
Okay, your network is really bad, Faith. Maybe reposition and then call us back again. Because we can hear you, but it's really breaking. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Joshua is on the line, calling from North Bank.
All right, welcome to the show. So what do you think?
Cutting ties with old friends is not anything good, because a good friend is always a good friend. The reason why many people choose to disconnect with the old friend is suspecting a partner that is your old friend. And one thing there is, it depends on the nature of the friendship people are going on with. Ladies who have their intimate boyfriend before they got married. And there are guys who have intimate girlfriend before they got married. So many partners are afraid that maybe by so doing, keeping these lines of friendship, your own relationship of yesterday will continue, and that will cause problem in the family.
Okay.
If not, having old friends, let's say I was intending to marry, and I got my own best man as somebody who is not married. So now that I got married, that best man that served my best man on my wedding, I will cut ties with him because he's yet to be married. No, it's not ideal.
Okay.
Best friends are always best friends. Bad friends, you yourself know within you that a bad friend will have boundary when you got married, because he might put your wife in a test that if the wife is not strong, might fall a victim.
Okay.
That's the issues many people try to avoid. If your friends are good ones, you don't even have any reason to cut ties with them.
Okay.
But if they are bad ones, when you are not at home, you don't even want them to come close to your home, because you know the type of person he was when you people were together as young guys. But cutting ties with friends, I don't think is a very good one.
Okay.
That is my take one.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Remind us of your name again.
Joshua is my name.
Oh, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for calling in to be part of the show. Now, we heard from Joshua, and he is saying, he gave a practical example, like if he, he has a best man at his wedding and the person helped him, that person has been his best friend. If he gets married, cutting that person off is unfair. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Ilumo Shinayu. I'm calling from Vegas.
Okay, so like I was saying with what Mr. Joshua said, he says, cutting off that friend simply because, you're married now, and forgetting everything that the person did for you in the past is kind of unfair, and it shouldn't be like that. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Yeah, tell us your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Gloria. I'm calling from Marysyntia.
We lost that. Maybe reposition and then call us back again. Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. Now, where are those people who say, my wife shouldn't be friends with those unmarried? Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from. My name is Gloria. I'm calling from New Hotel.
Okay, could you speak up more loudly?
I'm calling from New Hotel.
Oh, okay. So what do you think?
Please repeat.
And where are those people who always say, my wife shouldn't remain friends with those single friends because they are going to, influence her with everything they are doing and, lead her to actually become single like them? Because we hear it and it's more like, on air now, nobody's actually agreeing to that. But we see more of that in society. And some people would say like, my husband, you're married now and you should not be roaming about with your single friends, because if you keep roaming about it, it's more like you're also looking for what they are looking for. Now, if you have just joined us, this is Saturdays are for weddings on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM, and this morning we are talking about marriage boundaries and friendships. Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. What do you think? Should couples actually cut ties with their single friends after the marriage or not? What do you view? What point of view do you view? Do you think maybe single friends actually influence couples wrongly, and may all those things of try to make you spoil your marriage? That's the word I'm looking for, the perfect word to actually use there, because we hear it a lot of someone trying to spoil another person's marriage or giving the wrong advice because the person is single and all of that. So what do you think? Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. Should couples cut ties with their single friends after the marriage or not? How do you view it? Now, some people say, well, with different lifestyle, married lifestyle is different from single lifestyle. So if someone is being a married person is remaining friends with a single person, then that person can influence him or her to start doing what he or she should not be doing. But like we've heard on the show, most people are saying it depends on the kind of friends that you have. It depends on the kind of friendship. You should be able to tell if your friends the kind of bad friends that will maybe give you a bad advice and try to influence you to actually do what is not right. And someone mentioned here that as an adult you should be able to tell that, okay, this person is not right to actually still keep around. And some people are saying, well, it depends on the kind of friends. Like if it's an opposite sex, or it's someone that can bother your husband, because you cannot keep maintaining that kind of tight friendship with a single friend, knowing fully well that is the opposite sex, and again the person is unmarried. So what do you think? Should couples cut ties with single friends after the marriage? Number for you to call is 0808 427 5464. That is 0808 427 5464. If you're calling right now, you'll catch up with us because, well, it's about time. We'll wrap it up on the show today. And, well, we have been talking about marriage boundaries and friendship because that is one of the things that is like, let's not completely call it. It's an issue, actually. Well, we can call it that. And you see a lot of couple complain like, I don't like the kind of friends that you keep. I don't like this. I don't want you mingling with this kind of people or this kind of people and all of that. And it's something that sometimes even leads to broken relationships and marriages and all of that. So it's about time, we'll find something that works. And I hope that, as you're calling in and just answering here, you actually get to think about it, whether you're married or unmarried, because sometimes when you ignore some things or feeling like you might not have any problem with them, it's until you actually get into that marriage that you start saying like, whoa, this is not something I can deal with. So whatever the case is, at the end of the day, marriage comes with responsibility, not isolation. Some friendships may change, some may grow, some may naturally fade, but cutting people off completely, that depends on values, trust, and boundaries. And marriage isn't about losing yourself. It's about knowing who still fits into your new life. And, well, don't forget to remember that boundaries protect marriages, not silence. Also, coming up next at 1 p.m. is Speedy Kids, right here on Asking Radio 98.5 Speed FM. And I've been with you on Saturdays are for weddings. My name is Marysyntia Hangeior. Keep your dial locked on 98.5 Speed FM and keep enjoying music of your life.
Hello, my Cootie. Asking Radio